Hey there, Cheese here, and welcome to the start of a series that I've been meaning to do for quite some time now, Mega Man Zero Perfect Runs. Let's just get right into them and let the intro cutscene play out as I explain. So, if you're not sure what a perfect run is, essentially, I'm going to try to get through the entire Zero series without taking any damage and using mostly just the Buster. Kind of as a homage to, homage? Something to Roahm Mythril and Kevvl, who've done the same thing with the Classic and X series. I hadn't really seen any Mega Man Zero perfect runs, and it's probably my favorite Mega Man series there is, so I decided to make my own, and I'm gonna do my best to carry on what they started. Anyway, if you're wondering why mostly only the Buster instead of actually only the Buster like they did, I'll explain that after this intro cutscene is over. Well, after the intro stage is over. This intro cutscene is long, but it doesn't spend that much time. Anyway, it's pretty obvious who the good guys and bad guys are, even though this intro cutscene really doesn't explain anything. And the good guys just exploded an entire wall in mere seconds in order to find Zero. Do note that they previously were not able to defeat a single enemy. Apparently they were saving all their offensive power in case they found some wall that they didn't like. Green guys really aren't the most competent. And that's demonstrated here again. Can't do anything about those energy bursts slowly taking up the entire field of vision. Little interesting tidbit. Milan there, even though we never see him again in the entire series, he's one of the few people on our side who's got a unique character portrait. Don't know why, but back to matters at hand. Patsy's about to sacrifice herself by ramming into the barrier protecting Zero. Like I said, this intro cutscene kinda just leaves everything to be understood way later. For now, all it lets us understand, and all we need to understand, is I'm Zero. This is CL. We should rescue her. So let's do that. First thing you want to do is take out these blue enemies that have been following them the entire time. They are Pantheon Hunters. They've got that Buster that they like to fire. It's not too hard to jump over the shots, but that's assuming you can jump. CL can't. So you'll want to take them out before they fire, for her sake. These tiny bugs that are streaming out of these hives are hop hiders. As the name suggests, they just hop along the ground pretty much harmlessly. These yellow pests are They're secure hiders. They can rappel down from the ceiling to shoot at us, or they can spit a web at us when they're on the ceiling. If they're not on the ceiling, they really can't do anything, just crawl around the floor and walls. These guys are Pantheon Guardians. They're different from their Hunter variants in that they've got an electric club instead of a Buster, and they're a lot bulkier. Luckily, some of them are positioned near these bombs, and blow them up, we blow the Guardians up. Blow them up while you're standing too close, and we blow ourselves up. You won't die, but you'll take a good chunk of damage, and it's a lot easier to get caught in that than you might expect. Anyway, intro stage is just about over. One more enemy to take care of, and Zero can predict the future. How did you know there was going to be a hand there? Anyway, we're on to the boss. It's a Golem. This is me not damaging the Golem with the Buster. It's got two attacks. Neither of them particularly hard to avoid. The first is that laser that sweeps along the ground. Just stick near the wall, the top of the wall to avoid that one. The second, if I'll show it, is basically the same thing. And I'll explain it. Here we go. He aims it at the ceiling instead, and he'll make rocks fall. Just stand close to the Golem to avoid them, and then jump up and dodge his charge the same way you dodge the floor laser. And for some reason, we've got a Z-Saber now. No idea why, but it will actually take this Golem out in one shot. I'm not going to do that though. Like I said, I want this to be mostly Buster only. And on top of that, it's a lot easier to hit CL with the Z-Saber than the Buster. Yes, CL can still take damage, and whoa! Don't want to repeat of that stupid outtake. And well, this is a perfect run, and I'm supposed to protect CL. Even though it's not me taking damage, it just doesn't feel right to let someone you're protecting take damage. Anyway, one more hit, there we go! Intro boss is down. And that's the level. Pretty easy, even by intro stage standards, honestly. Hardly any outtakes for this. Speaking of which, there will be outtakes and extras coming up. Really doesn't seem right to when uploading a perfect run without them, just feels like something's missing. Anyway, we destroyed a Golem. We are Zero, the legendary Reploid. Despite our lack of memory of being such. But we have hibernation sickness, so never mind that. Expect a few more awkward phrases as the game goes on. The translation staff were kind of on vacation for this game. Gotta head back to the base. Not sure who he is still, but don't worry. We rescued her from the Golem, and the game is called Mega Man Zero, so of course we're Zero. And we found a trans server. They're kind of teleportation devices that let you warp around to places you've been, mostly to and from the base. And before we get there, we got ranked. This is the results screen. I'll get more in depth into it. I guess I lost 5 points there for the clear time since I took my sweet time on the boss. That's fine. Anyway. Welcome to the Resistance base. This is where injured Reploids hide who are suspected of being Mavericks. But innocent Reploids too, who wouldn't take in the actual Mavericks. X, as it turns out, X is alive and he's trying to retire everybody. It's not right. Seems he's been accusing innocent Reploids of being Mavericks and taking them all out. So what we need to do is, well, change that, however we need to. And CL has something in mind, but we'll save that for next time. For now, extras and outtakes. Enjoy!
Actually, since the extras I had for this video were really more for the game itself than for the stage, I've placed them in their own separate video. If you still want to see them, there will be a link to that video in the upcoming splash screen, or maybe in the description too. But otherwise, so as not to ruin the flow of the video, we'll just move straight on to the outtakes. Enjoy!
On to a real attempt. I'm going to, whoops, reset the game in... Oh, so nervous. 3, 2, 1... Come out of these nests and hop along the ground for a while. The yellow pests, oh my gosh, are you serious? That should not have happened. Oh yeah, we can dash, by the way. Too bad. That's taking damage, even if it's not us. The yellow pests up there are secure hiders, and if they finally get off the ceiling, there we go. They can shoot webs while on the ceiling, and are not really all that threatening. And these yellow pests are secure hiders. They can climb along the walls and ceilings as well as the floor while they're on this. They also respawn and run into CL. I bet you're the same one. she can actually still take damage if you shoot or slash her, by the way. So be careful about that and don't let it happen. Don't let that happen either, my goodness. Warned CL not in time. This is me not damaging it with a buster, by the way. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna let those fall on my head. Huh. If you take enough damage, you get this earlier. Alright. Anyway, Zero's disgruntled. I don't know why, and I don't know why this is happening either, but now we have a Z-Saber. I'd use it, but on top of other things, you can also slash CL, and you see our Securipiders, and they can be a threat. They walk along walls and ceilings, along with the floor, and oh, you can shoot the web that they repel down on to make stupid. They fire too, and jumping over their shots isn't hard at all, but CL can't jump, so whoa! Since when does that happen?
So, another feature of the format that I'm copying from Roahm and Kevvl is the difficulty analysis. After each stage, I'll go over it and rank it on a scale of 1 to 10 about how hard doing the perfect run was. As for this stage, surprise, it's a 1 out of 10. I actually had more trouble getting a take where I didn't stumble over my lines than getting a take where I didn't get hit. And I mean that literally. Of the outtakes you saw, only the first 4 were filmed before I got a successful take. All the others were filmed while I was trying to get a successful take where I didn't stumble over my lines, and that didn't happen until my 5th attempt. Or my 5th victory, rather. And there were countless attempts that I didn't even get to start playing before I stumbled over my lines too bad to reset. I actually got all the way up to the boss, not the first time I tried practicing this time, but the very first time I played the game in general without taking any damage. That says something. And what it says is 1 out of 10. Basically, this couldn't have started off any easier. And it's certainly going to only get harder from here, though not immediately. Next mission's pretty simple too. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed the start of the series, and this is Cheese realizing he doesn't know what to say goodbye yet. Whoops.